Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whichever time you're watching this particular video. Thank you so much and welcome to another episode where we discuss about investments, businesses, and so on that entails this particular topic or areas to do with investments and businesses. And if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is John Mweri. I'm a professional accountant with ex-FinOp Accountancy and Insurance Consultancy. Now, our topic of today is very much interesting because I want us to talk about something that people normally ignore in most cases. And here we shall be focusing so much on employees. Employees, if you are watching me, this video is for you. I suggest that you watch it up to the end. And today we're going to be talking about what we call payslips. Payslips, right? We are going to talk about payslips. Now, it's very unfortunate that someone can work from January to December without actually seeing how their payslips look like, or you have never even gotten interest in looking at your payslip or even requesting for it, simply because you just get your salary at the end of the month and that is it. You don't even care about anything else. So in most cases, you are going to find that employed people are not going to request for their payslips to even actually check if the amount that have been given as their net salary is actually well calculated. So you've gone ahead and you've trusted your organization or the payroll manager or the accountant or whichever person that is doing that particular work. You have trusted them 100% that I normally get a gross salary of 100,000, but a net salary I've been able to receive 70,000. You have just contented with that, but you don't go ahead and actually check your payslip to see whether even all the deductions have been made well, whether the KRA or whatever the tax that you're supposed to be to pay has been made well or has been well calculated, and so on. And so there are so many things that you're supposed to check in the payslip. Not only that, there are so many things that you can do with your payslip, including financial planning and so on and so on. So it's not only to see that that the deductions have been done well or the arithmetic calculation has been well done. No, but for the purpose of financial planning and so on and so on. So ladies and gentlemen, and that's why I will be giving you 5 reasons why you should ask for your payslip every time you are paid or every time you receive a salary. 5 reasons why you should always ask for your payslip, and actually you create a file for those particular payslips so that you can be able to do what we call financial planning, even personal financial planning, so that you can see the trend and see whether anything is differing in those particular payslips and see how you can be able to organize yourself financially. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste a lot of time. I just want to go deeper into these 5 points that I've prepared for you on why you should always request for a payslip every time you are paid. You realize that a payslip is going to have a lot of functions for financial planning, for the proof of employment. There are some people who even working right now with no contract. Yeah. So a payslip is going to have a lot of functions. It's something that can even defend you in a court of law. So you should not see it just as a paper. So it's something that possesses its own power, even though it is underestimated by many employees. All right. So let me just go deeper so that you can be able to discuss these particular reasons why you should always ask for your payslip anytime you receive a salary and actually put it in your file. And the first reason is for transparency and trust. Transparency and trust, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to tell me that your trust levels are that high that every time you receive a net salary, you are going to trust it and you're not going to check your payslip. You're not going to request for it to see whether the calculation was well done. it's good to trust the employer and it's good to trust the payroll manager. We are not saying that they can do this mistake willingly, but remember, humans are humans. We are all prone to mistakes. An accountant or a payroll manager or whichever person is preparing your salary can even miscalculate somewhere and actually end up paying you less or paying you more, of which you can be able to counter check and ask, now, last month I received a salary of 50,000. This time round I have received a salary of 55,000. What has increased in my payslip? You know, some guys are just going to see a salary increase in their net salary and they're just going to keep quiet, and then they are going to assume, I think something or is some allowance. No, you're not supposed to assume anything that was not communicated in that particular month. That might end up even costing you, whereby the accountant is doing some reconciliation and he or she is telling you, John, or whatever, there is this month that we gave you 55,000 and now we see we have to balance here because there was a mistake that came along. You see, and then utaanza kujamu useme mbona hukuniambia nini, but you identified something like that, but you never aired your points. So it's always good to check on these payslips because no one is going to be perfect in their calculations. Everybody can go wrong, they can miscalculate, and therefore that is for transparency. Transparency is where you're going, it's the openness, it's the openness to see that everything has been put there, that your payslip has been well calculated, that all the deductions have been well made. If you are paying a loan, if it's for taxation purposes, you can even be able to calculate manually and see that the tax that you're supposed to pay is well calculated. All right. If all the deductions, statutory deductions have been made, for example, health statutory deductions, and so on and so on. If you have your insurance premiums, it's always good to check and follow up and see that all has been done well. So the second one is for financial planning. All right. For financial planning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a payslip is not just a piece of paper. It is something, a document that you can rely on when you are making your own financial plans. It is not all about a net salary that you get at the end of the month. No, it is something that is going to help you determine or find out or probably plan for the uncertainties. For example, a payslip is going to show all the deductions, and including in those deductions, you are going to have even your pension. You can be able to plan for your pension. Now, a payslip is also going to have some other extra deduction. For example, health covers and so on and so on. For example, if you are paying a loan, a payslip is going to have that particular deduction. And a payslip is going to tell a lot in terms of, for example, when it comes to a loan, you are paying a loan and you've just a few months for deductions and then you are through with your loan, and then you can consider taking another debt, So you can be able to do a lot of financial planning and analysis using your payslip. You can also be able to tell the trend of that particular payslip. For example, if you are employed, you can be able to see whether your salary is going up or it's going down or it's just constant. You can be able to see whether you are growing or you are not growing. So ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to normalize requesting for these particular payslips and actually looking at them, filing them, using them to make decisions, and see if you are an accountant also, you can be able to see the trends. Even when it comes to payslips, you can be able to see whether the deductions has gone up or the deductions has gone down. So ladies and gentlemen, let's normalize to use financial payslips for financial planning. Now, let's talk about compliance and record keeping, right? Compliance and record keeping. Now, when it comes to compliance, is just checking that all the statutory deductions that are supposed to be done in your payslips have been done. For example, you are not just given your net salary and then you assume that everything is okay. And then later you are being told by KRA that you have not your returns were not remitted, and so on and so on. So you've heard of such cases. So you're supposed to ask for your payslip and actually see that all the deductions have been made. For record keeping, ladies and gentlemen, you realize that these are your documents, these are your financial documents. You're supposed to store them in a safe place. And in case of anything that comes along, for example, if right now you are employed and you don't have a contract between your employee and your employer, did you know that a payslip, as long as the employer has given you a payslip, it's actually enough to prove, or as a proof that you are employed by that particular employer. And you can use payslip in a court of law in place of the contract letter. So it is very important to have these documents stored well, because sometimes they can help you even make other decisions. If you want to sue your company, you can actually use a payslip to sue them, all right? Because it's a document that shows the proof of employment through the remunerations that you get at the end of the month. So, ladies and gentlemen, compliance and record keeping, it's very important. All right. Now, let's talk about technological advancement. All right. Technological advancement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now imagine an organization that is going to have like more than 500 employees, an organization that is going to have more than 500 employees. Now imagine each and every individual requesting a payslip from the accountant or the payroll manager. That is not even impossible. Like, the payroll manager is going to send payslips to each and every person manually. And that's why we call for technological advancement. When you request and someone's request and all of you, 500 of you request, there is that need for technological advancement. And you have seen in most organizations, they have come up with client portals whereby for just to enhance the customer service, whereby clients can be able to access such materials from their portal. It's something that it is well, and it is friendly, and it is designed for the person or the client to use, to be able to operate at their end, just to request for what they want. For example, these particular pay slips. For example, if you are applying for a loan, you can be able to see the repayment there. It's not a must you go to the office and you access all these things. So a portal is one of the examples of technological advancements that has come due to mass customer service. All right. So just to enhance the customer service. So payslip, again, and or such kind of documents has been able to has enhanced the technological advancement in most companies. Because even if I was an accountant and even 10 people request for the payslip, you even feel that you are wasting time sending one by one to them. So when the portal is there and can actually be able to serve a lot of people at the same time, it becomes very much convenient to do that instead of doing it manually. So technological advancement is another reason why, this one is an indirect. Someone might say, now, how is a payslip going to help in technological advancement? I've just explained. When many of you ask for that particular payslip and there is no system to distribute, that the payroll manager is going to just distribute one by one, anachukua email yako anakutumia, it becomes tedious and it consumes a lot of time. But with time, the organization is going to realize, oh, we need to come up with a system that can actually be able to be accessible by the members or the clients, so that they can do these things by their own or on their own. So you have that payslip, kuuliza to your payslip, you have helped somewhere, and they can actually be able to design that particular system that is going to be user-friendly and client-based systems, whereby they can be able to access such particular information. A website is also another technology, a website whereby if you wanted to know about a company, you just go to the website of that particular company and you can be able to learn a lot about that particular, the history, the board of directors, the employers, the CEO and the employees, and so on and so on, what the company deals with, and so on and so on. So It is the same thing with clients portal, whereby they can be able to access that particular information. All right. Number 5, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about empowerment of employees. You know, number 5 is employee empowerment, right? Now, how is a payslip going to empower employees? Now, for example, if an organization, after doing payroll, and they just make sure that they have distributed all their payslips to their employees, or they make sure that they have put those payslips in the client's portal so that whoever wants to access their payslips can actually be able to log in their portal and access those particular payslips. Now, what are you telling the employees? You are empowering them. How are you empowering them? Through sharing of information. There is what we call disclosure. Disclosure that now we have paid you and this is your payslip. You know, you give the employee and they feel that they have the right to information. For example, I don't have to come to your office and then asking for, can you share me with this? Can you do this for me? Can you, before I even ask, you've already shared it. You have already shared that information in my portal, and I don't have to come to you and request for it, because, employee has the right to access their pay slips. So I don't have to request it for you, from you. So when you share these particular documents, not only payslips, even other forms of documents that the employees has the right to access. So you normally ensure that you have empowered them through the right to information, through the right of disclosure, so that they can actually check for themselves whether everything is okay or not. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these 5 points, I need you to be able to, if you are that kind of an employee who doesn't care about what is going on, as long as you have received your net salary at the end of the month and you don't check, kindly go on. Normally, if you don't get this, or you don't have a system that you can get your pay slips, you can always request from them, from your payroll manager or your accountant. Probably you're not so many employees, you're an organization, but when you become many, the organization is going to see a need of coming up with a system that you can be able to access those particular pay slips without requesting them. All right. So check your pay slips, use them for transparency and trust. See whether you can trust your employer. See whether your things are being done well. Use them for financial planning. I don't know, you guys, what you normally use for budgeting. Of course, a pay slip is one of the necessity for budgeting. All right. Use them for compliance and record keeping in case of anything. In case that employer says that we have not employed you, the payslip is one document that is going to defend and prove that you're actually employed in that particular company. For technological advancement, you are helping that particular company indirectly without knowing. All right. Employee empowerment and so on and so on. The right to information. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all I had for today. I hope you have enjoyed this particular video. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of videos and information I normally come to share on this particular platform. And this is another reason that you should stay subscribed in this particular platform, because we have a lot to discuss and a lot and more videos are coming. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my time. See you on the next.